Today, I wanted to talk about just a sense I've had lately that, like, nothing feels like it really matters right now. Um, and I don't know if that's just me. I kind of don't think it is. I just mean on, like, a greater cultural, sociological level, it just doesn't feel like anything has weight behind it. Um, and I think it has a lot to do with social media and just our current political climate and late stage capitalism, as they say on Reddit, which I think is a pretty accurate descriptor. I don't know. I guess I'll just start with like the first part of it is like definitely the pace at which things happen. There's so much stuff coming out all the time, and also just the fact that we're sort of like aware of it because of the internet. Like it's a constant, like there's was stuff coming out all the time in the '90s too, but now we're like aware of it and you can follow all these things. And I don't know. I guess a good example would be video games. I used to like, and I still get hyped for video games, but like I feel like a lot of the fun around it for people lately is like the hype around the game and not just playing the game. I when I was a kid, like a game would come out and you would like there wouldn't be like 1,000 YouTube videos leading up to it that you've watched and got all this, you know what I mean? Like you would just go get the game, you'd hear about it, and then you'd play the game, and that was like your first experience of the game, and you'd be excited in the car riding home and like reading the booklet and stuff. Um, and like I don't know, a lot of this is weird because I'm not saying that this stuff is like a bad way to do it. Like it makes sense to deliver games digitally, and you can update them and all of these things, but it's had this effect of it just feeling like I don't know. There's just another game coming out, another thing, and not. I mean, that's a whole separate thing with the early access, and this is if you're talking about gaming specifically, like a lot of games come out unfinished and all this stuff. But like, it's just there's so much access to technology, and there's so much access to the tools to do whether it's music, or if it's as a bedroom producer, uh, or as games, or it's whatever content. I've used the word here and there. It's a okay word, but I don't like it. I feel like we need to figure out a way to sort of like meet in the middle with these things, because to continue with the gaming example, I think it's cool to have like a culture and ecosystem around something you like, but on the other side of it, it's like how many people are like spending more time watching videos about games instead of just playing the games. I think that's fine if you're watching like a streamer or something, or like you're watching like you just enjoy watching people play. But I think a lot of people are just like constantly hyping themselves up on reviews and all this stuff. And then when it gets to the point that you can actually play the game, it's like I don't know, you've already used up all that dopamine. They've had studies show that like getting excited about things, or like the hype of things is more, it releases more dopamine than actually doing it. So like people will get all excited about a vacation and they'll actually have like they'll get more pleasure chemicals in their brain from getting excited about the vacation and thinking about how great it's going to be than actually being on it. And I just think that's like sad, man. Um, so it's like you have this kind of rush of like never ending like rush of stuff coming out to be excited about. And it's like, a man bought a beautiful piece of art and he put it in his room and it made the room beautiful. And so the man thought surely more pieces of art in here would make the room exponentially more beautiful, and it just became a cluttered mess. It was like a Buddhist story in some book I read. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening in our culture right now, is that everything's just like a cluttered mess. Like when you have a feed of people on social media, like your friends, even on Facebook, like close friends, not just like followers, not close friends, but people you've generally, Facebook is like people you've met in real life, right? Like when you have like a constant stream of like people having babies and people accomplishing this or that thing or whatever. And I'm not even making a point about only showing the best parts of your life. Like obviously, like who's going to sit there except maybe me, because I don't know, some of my earlier videos I did of this are just like self therapy, but I feel like maybe they're supposed to have, they should have more direction, so I kind of took that down. But who knows? I'm not, I don't care. Like I don't care what people think or see. Just like maybe it's not interesting. Um, but yeah, when you have, so you have these accomplishments and you have all this stuff, and like you have this constant feed of your friends and all these things, and it's like, or shows for DJing, like or events or music festivals, or it's just like, I feel like it's just like nonstop, and like no single one of them has any like weight anymore. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me. I hope it's just me. Maybe I'm just depressed. I've been kind of depressed lately, but like, I just think there's an onslaught. It's just too much stuff, and it just dilutes like the meaning and impact of each one, so that but it's almost like taking antidepressants where you just like, you don't really feel good or bad. Like there's stuff happening and there's people doing stuff and there's just, yep, it's another person. And it's like, but for each one of these people, it's like a huge moment in their lives. It could possibly, right? Like for each, like event flyer you see, like somebody put hours and hours and hours, probably hundreds or thousands of hours, especially with a music festival. I've been on these teams. The amount of work and money and risk and effort and planning that goes into it just to kind of like put it out there. And then it's like, people are like, oh, another like event. Or just that, maybe that's not even a fair interpretation. Maybe it's just like, the way that it's presented is just another flyer on Facebook. Like it's not even like a thing you hold. Like it's not. I don't know. I'm just having like a lot of like issues with this. Like I want to fucking hold paper again. You know what I mean? Like I want to like hear about a show from a friend, not scroll past it online. Like I'm like dying to fucking connect again. I think social media is cool. I think it's cool that I can sit here and put something out and the world can see it. And like, I think it's cool that I can show people what I've done without sort of like holding my phone in their face or some, you know what I mean? It's always like awkward if somebody's like, you want to hear my song? And they like put their iPhone up to your ear in a loud bar. You're like, yeah, it's a good song, man. How am I, and that's not even fair to them. Like how am I supposed to appreciate their work or like, in that context, but I don't know. It's just something that's been on my mind a lot lately. Like, I don't think this is the best way to do it, but I think it's part of the way to do it. Does that make sense? I mean, we really got to we got to go outside more, man. We got to like go out. I mean, together, like have more events and parties and get-togethers and bars and meetups and like. I don't know. I don't know how biased I am. Maybe I'm just like, I don't do a lot of stuff like that. I want to, but I don't, like, it's not happening around me. Like I drive or take the train like into New York City, like 3-hour journey each way just to like spend 5 or 6 hours like at a thing. Like that's how much I want this. Like I do what I can to make it happen. I go, like I get on trains and go for hours. It's a 6-hour round trip to do a couple hours of stuff with friends or to just maybe even go make friends. Like, why does this not exist? Why do I have to go that far? I live in a pretty like, like urban area. Like there's not like I'm in the middle of nowhere. Why am I seemingly the only person who cares about this stuff? Even in New York, you go to like an open decks thing or something and like there's nobody shows up except the people playing. Like, where is everybody? You know what I mean? Like there's 8 million people like in that city. There's millions of people around me. Like, where the fuck is everybody? Why isn't anybody doing anything? Like, don't you want to do stuff? Aren't you like, don't you want to live? Like, where are you? I don't want to just sit in my house and watch fucking Netflix till I die. Like I find stuff to do here. I've been like meticulously organizing an offline music collection, which is another video I'll make sometime about like reliance on streaming services and file backup and stuff. I just like, sometimes I feel like, I mean, I know I'm not, but like, where the fuck is everything that's happening? Like, where are people getting together? Like, I've spent years like integrating into the festival community and into like trying to get into the DJ scene and everything. And it's like, I've made a lot of good friends. I mean, I get along with everybody. I just like but like, still, it's like, where is everything? I don't know, like smaller thing. I don't mean like there's actually quite a few music festivals and stuff going on, which is good. But I mean, those are like big productions. I just mean like a weekly, like, why can't I just go to a bar once or twice a week and like find somebody there that I know? Like, why isn't that a thing that happens? And maybe it is. Maybe it's just not happening for me. Maybe it's just where I live. I don't know, man. I'm getting sick of it. But I'm far off topic now. I guess it does tie in though. The other part of it that I was thinking about beyond just like sort of the, SSRI effect of social media, just like showing you everything so that it all kind of equally means, the kind of like, like, I'm not saying I just like, I just mean like, that's, I think a lot of the general, like it's so easy to just scroll past something and it's not showing it and it's like full, like light of day. Like you're not giving it the weight, whether it's your kid being born or this thing you accomplished or a video project you worked on or a song you made. Like, I feel like you put out music and like people don't really listen to it because it's like everybody's a producer or like everybody's a rapper, right? Or like everybody's a DJ. And it's like, I don't know, it's almost like being connected and aware of how much of all of the shit there is in the world isn't good for us. Like I'd almost prefer that like I didn't see I just want to kind of see the world around me a little bit so that there's a little bit of like, I don't need to know the scale. I can't comprehend the scale. I don't think our minds are made to like cope with the fact that you're one of 500 million people who do this thing. Like DJing is a great example. Cause like, yeah, there are a million DJs and there are a lot of people who just like don't kind of see the art in it and they just want to get up and kind of be cool on stage and don't realize that it should really be about the music. And like being a DJ is like something I want to talk about separately too. Like I think and I'm not like some working DJ necessarily, but just like, yeah, I mean, but like, I think being a DJ is like in your heart. Like it's something like if you fucking love dance music and music, like if you fucking love it, like you hear a song and you're like, wait, I have to get the name of that song. Like I'm not leaving it. Like I go up and like ask Starbucks employees what's on the radio. Like that, like I fucking love music. I love it. Like I have I love music. I data hoard music. I don't want to lose it. If I hear a song, I'm saving it. Like I love it. And if you feel like that about music, then you are a DJ. Like you should be a DJ, or you are maybe just by like in your personality, but like you should pursue DJing, And if you just think it's a way to like get up and dance around and like look cool, then like, I don't know, it's just like, yeah, like you're going to get a lot of that because it's not that hard, to push the buttons and stuff. And like, it's, but like, so I understand it. And it's just, I guess like, I don't need to see the scale of the world. I don't need to see that I'm one of 500 million DJs, because it all it does is like it puts this thing in your head of just like that you don't matter. But like we didn't evolve in tribes of 500 million people. We evolved in groups of like 100. And if you were into like a thing, you were probably the only one into that thing. Or maybe there was you and a couple other people, and even take it to the scale of a small town, a couple thousand, 10,000, 50,000. Imagine like, there's got to be a level like where it feels comfortable. Like in the music festival world, I think like 10,000 people at a music festival. I like that. Like Secret Dreams is one that I think is just like the perfect size. Once you get into like the Bonnaroos and the Fireflies and that like larger festivals where you have 70, 80,000 people there, the crowd control thing becomes an issue. Security becomes an issue. All this stuff becomes an issue. And not that those things aren't issues at smaller festivals, but like something about 10,000 felt cool. Like it felt like, I'm running into people I didn't run into the first day. There's like traffic a little bit. There's a lot of activity and energy and life going on, but I'm also like seeing the same people throughout the day. Like it's not so big that I have to walk half a mile from each stage. Like it's manageable. It's a good scale for a human mind, I think, to get if you want to have a large gathering at a music festival. I think 10,000 people is like, you don't really want to go above that. I like the smaller ones too, even like more in some ways, like the 1 to 2,000, like all super homie fest. I love that. But I'm just saying for a bigger one, 10,000 people is like nice. Like not that 15 would be super different. I don't know. I'm just saying like generally as you get into like 20, 30, 40, like I don't like it. It just feels like going to a city where everybody's fucked up. But yeah, man, so all of that shit coupled with like the I try to keep these, like, I was like, I gotta be more topical. Like, I just can't do it, man. I just wander around in my mind. Like, maybe that's just, that's what it's gonna have to be. You're just gonna have to accept that, I guess. That's what I want this to be, like an outlet of, to be able to fucking just get this shit out of my fucking head. And then so the other part of this that I think is important for like feeling like nothing really matters is just that, like, I think it's pretty clear that our society is like kind of cooked, right? Like, we're like this iteration of society, like this endless growth sort of thing. Go work a job you hate, fucking deal with it for a broken promise of a white picket fence and a family that you might not even fucking want. Like, I don't want that. I think that's over. I think we all kind of like, that's over, right? Like, and then it just becomes like, well, then why am I doing all this work? Like, I don't feel like my country is even going to exist in the form that I've known it to be much longer. Like, I don't know what the world's going to look like. I like the shit I'm reading about quantum computer chips and like what Microsoft just did and with like creating a new state of matter previously unknown and on which they can do calculations or something. I got to look more into that one. I only really saw a headline on that one. But yeah, I like, why are we doing anything? You know what I mean? So I kind of get it. Like, when I was ranting earlier about, don't you want to do stuff like that? But like, at the same time, I understand, all of these pursuits and everything. It's like, what are we doing this for? Why are we doing this? Like, I don't feel like this is going to lead to anything. Like, that's why I'm doing everything in my can to just live my life doing stuff that like I want to do, and try to find a way to deal with the need to make a living in the meantime. It's hard to be like staring down the barrel of like American fascism becoming a reality. Like, I'm literally having thoughts like, do I want videos like this out there where I talk freely? And like that, it's like, yeah, but like, fuck it. I'm not going to live in fear, man. Like, I'm not going to let fear control my life. I don't know. Everything just feels like it's on hold right now, man. Like, everything just feels like it doesn't matter and it's on hold. And like, we just gotta like, I think we just gotta like hang in there. And I think we gotta bring things closer to us. I think we need to reduce our fucking, you ever play a battle royale? Like, we need to reduce our circle, there's too much. It's too much. It's too much to know. It's too much to care about. I'm not saying don't care. I care so much about the suffering that I see in the world that it fucking ruins my life. Just to make that clear, I need to be able to compartmentalize better because I often cannot function. So it's not a matter of not caring, but it's that I can't function like this. And I think a lot of us feel that way, or we're just tuned out and I'm not like, I don't know. I don't want to tune out from the world entirely, but it's like I only experience this stuff through a fucking screen, and then it's like ruining my life. I know it's real, but I'm not there. Like, it's not affecting me. I'm doing nothing to help it. I'm just being sad for it. And I don't see what that does to help anything. Life is beautiful, man. Like, the trees are beautiful and like the sky is beautiful and everybody's just watching Netflix, Let's go take a walk in a trail. Just like go outside in the winter too. Fuck it. Bundle up. I need to do that more. Music is beautiful. Music is incredible. Fluctuations in air pressure can make you move your body. It's nuts. I don't know. I don't know what to do right now. I'm just trying to focus on the things that make me happy. And hopefully they have a ripple effect into the world. But I just, man, I've just been thinking a lot about just the onslaught of media, like, especially like YouTube and stuff. It's like, I mean, I did the gaming YouTube thing for a little bit. I've kind of transitioned to just like kind of hanging out and streaming and having fun and stuff. But like, you look at like the thumbnails and like they all start to become homogenous because nobody has any fucking creativity anymore because everything's just like what's the most visible, what's going to get people to click on it, what's going to get me the most views. And now you see, like, you know, if I do a black background with white text and then I outline one word in red, that now all the podcasts do that because that Diary of a CEO podcast did it. And like everybody's got to A/B test their thumbnails and all this stuff. And so you end up scrolling through this homogenized like mass of just like the same shit. Like you got the guy's face and you got big bold text in yellow or fucking red or whatever. Like I don't know. You know, I'm doing it a little bit too on the People I've Met channel. I do want things to be legible. Like I do want things to be clickable. I understand that. Like I understand making something that like makes people like, that's interesting. What's that? That's not what I have a problem with. I think that's cool. I think thumbnail design is like an interesting kind of little art form. Like limited space, and it's like, how do I like make this interesting? So that's not the thing I have a problem with. It's just the way that everything becomes so cookie cutter because they find a way that seems to work the best with the algorithm, and then we're all going to do that because it's not about art, it's about views. Like views, like what are views? Like if I watch 30 seconds and hate your video and you get a view for it, like does that make you feel good? Like I don't know what views mean. I get caught up in it too. I got fucking 100 views on this video or whatever. Like that's small just to keep me going. But like views don't necessarily, like, I don't know. Who gives a fuck? You know, put your work. I almost wish they'd get rid of it altogether. It was interesting about Reddit and how Reddit feels a little bit different from like other social media. And I think a big part of it is because there's like, it's not tied to your personal identity. Like it's just, there's no like, I mean, there's upvotes and downvotes and stuff, but like nobody really cares. In fact, you're kind of made fun of for caring. Like they call it like, they make fun, like updoots or whatever, like internet points. Like people like actively make fun of giving a fuck about Reddit karma. So like, I don't know. It's funny to me that like, what's the main difference between Reddit and the people using it and all the other social media platforms that are all like, you know, caught up in subscriber counts and views and stuff. And it's like, even though it has the same thing, like you can get upvoted, not even worse, you can get downvoted, which is probably a good thing. I like that you have both options. It makes it more like feel like more real, but the way that it's not like the main point of it, like people don't have profile pictures of themselves. Like, nobody cares about upvoting. Nobody cares about getting followers. I think it's interesting how by just not attaching your real name to it, it creates this platform where people like don't care about that stuff. And it feels like there's issues with it, of course, and it's an echo chamber and all that, but like, it does feel like older internet used to be. And like, that feels better to me. I don't mind something like Facebook, like the idea that I can have my own place for my own personal stuff. But you have like these other social media platforms where it's just the world. And yeah, it creates this weird thing the minute you have your name attached to it. But YouTube's a little different too, because YouTube's more like a show kind of. But it could be, I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I tried to stay topical here, but I guess it just turns into just these thoughts. So I don't know. I don't know if this is interesting to anybody. If you've watched it this far, I think I'm running out of. I guess that's good. I know I'm fucking weird, man. I know I'm like a weird person. Like I'm realizing that more. Like I think I'm like really fucking weird. You know, like I don't feel weird. Like it doesn't feel weird to me. But like I think people see me as like really fucking weird. Like not in a bad way. Like people seem to like me. Like people are nice and like they're like, hey, what's up, man? Like, so it's not, and I don't think it's fake. Like I think I get along with people, right? But I think I'm like fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fucking weirdo. Like it's like setting in lately. Like I'm fucking weird. Shit. Like I always knew it. I always called myself like a weird kid, but like I'm sort of like seeing it from other people's perspective. Like if I ran into somebody who acts like I act and talks like I talk and rants about this, then loses their train of thought and then comes back and then like I'm fucking weird. Like I'm a fucking weirdo artist, weirdo fucking person. Like hopefully somebody finds that like cool someday, you know. I don't prefer not to die alone, but I don't know, man. I tried to stay topical, but like it is what it is. So all right, I'm gonna stop rambling now and go do some other stuff. I'm still hesitant to even do any of this at all, but yeah. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.